Welcome. This video shows when and how to use the sensitivity analysis tools to analyze management decisions related to resource use and acreage allocations. In the previous training video, we made it to step 2 of the planning process and created a baseline strategy. So now we'll move to step 3 of the planning process. Step 3 is all about creating new strategies that improve on one or more management objectives. We'll start with the example baseline strategy and begin to refine it by asking what-if management questions and examining the answers. To do this, we'll use the sensitivity analysis toolset. The sensitivity analysis tools quickly show you which controllable management decisions impact which management objectives. Sensitivity analysis can be used to analyze two sets of management decisions. Number 1, increasing or decreasing the amount of one or more resources. Number 2, increasing or decreasing crop acreage limits. You can change one resource at a time or multiple resources simultaneously. Similarly, you can change one crop limit at a time or multiple crop limits simultaneously. We'll look at 4 combinations of management decisions and sensitivity analysis tools. Now, let's see how this sensitivity analysis works. First with resources, then with crop limits. Let's look at working capital as an example. The resource table calls out the critical resources. In our baseline strategy, working capital is all used up. It is critical. So is on-farm crop storage. We'll incrementally increase working capital from $600K to $750K using the single resource tool. All other farm model parameters remain unchanged, including the crop storage. To do this, go to Farms, Strategies, Scenarios, select a strategy, and click Results to see the dashboard. Click on Sensitivity Analysis. Then click on the top green bar, the one that says Increase or Decrease Resources. There are 2 tabs. We're analyzing a single resource, working capital, so choose this one. Give the output a name. We'll call this analysis Increase Working Capital. Select the resource, Working Capital. Select the number of runs or increments. FYI, this is the number of times the optimization engine is called. We'll use 5. Select the amount that working capital will be increased for each increment. We'll use $50,000. This means that working capital will be increased 5 times between our starting value of $600,000 up to $750,000 in $50,000 steps. Click Analyze. Planting Profits is generating the most profitable mixes of crops, fields, and acres and resource use for each amount of working capital. Click on the name of the analysis run to see a graphical display of the changes to estimated income as working capital is increased. Click on any point in the graph to see the most profitable combination of crops, fields, acres, and asset use for a given amount of working capital. If you like the strategy, save it to compare to others or further refine it. You can also decrease a resource and examine the impact on profitability. Here's a quick example, but one to maybe keep in mind. Decrease available working capital to decrease exposure. Let's take a quick look at the impact on profitability. We'll use the single resource sensitivity analysis tool again to do this. We'll call this one Decrease Working Capital. Select the resource, Working Capital. We'll use 5 steps again. Select the amount that working capital will be decreased for each increment. We'll use -$20,000. Note the minus sign. This means that working capital will be decreased 5 times between our starting value of $600K down to $500K in $20,000 steps. Click Analyze. Planting Profits is generating the most profitable mixes of crops, fields, acres, and resource use for each of the 5 values of working capital. Here are the results. We'll take a closer look at analyzing risk and assets use later. But for now, That is a quick introduction to single resource sensitivity analysis. Use this tool to analyze the impact on profitability of increasing or decreasing any individual resource. Now let's use the sensitivity analysis tool to change multiple resources at the same time. First, let's go back to the baseline strategy and look at the critical resources. Click Multiple Resources. Since working capital is all used up, it's critical. There's 40,000 bushels of on-farm crop storage, and this is all used up too. Increasing working capital and crop storage should increase estimated income. Let's analyze this. We'll increase working capital by $50K. There's 20,000 bushels of extra storage on the neighbor's farm. So we'll increase crop storage from 40,000 to 60,000 bushels. Click Analyze. Here is the most profitable mix of crops, fields, acres, and resource use for the new amounts of working capital and crop storage. Click View Strategy to see the crop mix. If you like the strategy, save it to compare to others or further refine it. Now let's look at sensitivity analysis for crop limits. Look at the crop limits in the baseline strategy. Barley has reached its maximum crop limit of 400 acres. Let's analyze the impact on profitability from planting up to a couple hundred acres more barley. Click on the lower green bar, the one that says Increase or Decrease Crop Acreage Limits, to analyze the impact on estimated income. Similar to the Resources Sensitivity Analysis tools, there are two tabs. We'll analyze the maximum acre limit for barley using the Single Crop Limit tool. Select barley. Select the number of runs or increments, that is, the number of times the optimization engine is called. We'll set the increment as 50 acres. Increments can be positive or negative. This means that the maximum acres of barley will be increased 5 times in 50-acre steps. We click Analyze. Here is the most profitable mixes of crops, fields, acres, and resource use for increasing the maximum acreage of barley. Click on the name of the analysis run to see a graphical display of the changes to estimated income. You can click on any point in the graph to see the most profitable combination of crops, fields, and acres for a given amount of barley. If you like the strategy, save it to compare to others or further refine it. The other analysis tool is for multiple crop limits. Click Multiple Crop Limits. The table at the bottom calls out the critical crop limits. In our baseline strategy, the maximum limit for barley is reached. It is critical. And the minimum acreage of wheat is reached. It is also critical. To change one or multiple crop limits, enter the new values. We'll increase the maximum acre limit on barley to 35%. We'll decrease the minimum acre limit for wheat to 0. Click Analyze. Here is the most profitable mix of crops, fields, acres, and asset use for the new crop limits. Click View Strategy to see the crop mix. If you like the strategy, save it to compare to others or further refine it. To summarize, use the sensitivity analysis tools in Step 3 of the planning process to analyze management decisions affecting resource use and acreage allocations. These tools will help you explore paths and find ways to increase income, manage risk, and optimize resource use. The next training video covers scenario analysis and Step 4 of the planning process. Thank you for your time. For more information, please go to www.plantingprofits.com.